Hello and welcome to Learn Data. It's great to have you on this channel. I'm Nilesh, and in this video, we'll look at how to load different other types of data sets. For example, sample images, data sets in svmlight or libsvm format, and how we can get data sets from the openml.org repository. Additionally, we can look at how to load some additional external data sets. So the very first is sample images. So this is a command in scikit-learn which is datasets.load underscore sample underscore images. And what this does is it loads two images. These are shown here on the left and right. So to get the first image, you have this would be image 0 in the output that we get, and this would be the second image, which I've written it here as images 1. And the size of these images is 427 by 640 by 3, both of them. So this is a way to get two images quickly into the notebook if we want to do some testing for based on images. The next is datasets in svmlight or libsvm formats. So here is an example of how that file might look like. The format is like this. We have the label in each row in the txt file. We have label and then a combination of feature ID and feature value. So there could be a number of these in a single row. So here, for example, we have 3 rows and we have 1, 2, 3, 4 columns. So the first column is label, that is the target label. Then we have the other 3 columns where we have the feature ID and feature value combination. So 0 is the feature ID and 1 is the feature value. So if we look at the output after it's imported into Python, and here in the array, uh, when we look at in array format, this is index 0, which is index 0, and we have the value of 1, so we have 1. Index 1, we have value of 1, so that is right here. And then we have index 4, so 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So index 4, we have value of 1. And because this has a target label of -1, we have the target label of -1 for y. So this is how the svmlight or libsvm format works. Next, there are other ways to import multiple files in this format by using load underscore svmlight underscore file. So you can specify more than one file. And then there's another feature with the load underscore svmlight underscore file where we can specify the number of features as well as shown here. Now, moving on, how to download the datasets from OpenML repository. So, if you do not already know, OpenML is a repository, public repository where there are several datasets hosted that you can download for practice, and there is a lot more functionality of associated with OpenML side that you can run experiments as well. So for this video, we'll focus on how we can download a data and dataset from OpenML either by name or the data ID. So here we have the very first line which says datasets.fetch underscore OpenML. Here we are specifying the name of the dataset and also the version. Alternatively, we can also specify here. I should have missed typing datasets.fetch OpenML, so probably need that there. Here we can also specify data underscore ID. So the ID for this particular data mice protein is 040966, and that's another way to get the data into Python. And subsequently, when you look at you can look at the data description, and to get the data out after it's imported, we have data.data that you can store in X, and data.target you can store in Y. And here is a snippet of what the data looks like. Here I'm showing just 2 rows and 2 columns. So these are the values for those, and then we have the second data set, which is Y, that is shown here, which are the target labels. Now, for external data sets, these are alternative ways. We can use pandas to load CSV, Excel, JSON, and SQL files. SciPy to uh, import MAT, ARFF files, and then NumPy again to you can transform the data frame into a NumPy array. And then we already saw svmlight file, how we can import those. For loading images, these are two options: skimage.io and image.io. And to read wave files, this is another option: scipio.wave.wavefile.read. And finally, there is also a datasets.load files. So if you have multiple files, then you can load it using this format also. And we'll look at that now. So let's say you have a dataset where there is this main folder data, and it has subfolders for each category, each class, which is category 1, 2, and 3. And then each of these categories has multiple files. So here are just shown two files, and the data in the first file is this text. So what we can do is use the load underscore files that will import all the data within each of the subfolders in each of the files and put them in a list. And associated with that would be the category of one as a label. So the name of the folder would be the label. So here's what the command looks like: datasets.load underscore files path, which is the path to the main folder data, and then encoding. And this is how it looks. So data would have this list of everything filed together. So the data from each file would be a separate string. So if you look at data, if you look at the first item in this list, it would be from the file category underscore one file 1.txt. So this particular file, and so on for the other files as well. Here we also get the file names. So category 1, file 2, then category 2 and category 3, we have all the files. Additionally, we have the target names, category 1, 2, and 3. So those would be the names of the folders that we have. And then if you want to get the target, so we have the numeric values as well. 0 for category 1, 1 for category 2, and 2 for category 3. So for each of the files 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So each of the 6 files that we have read in using the load underscore files would have associated target value. So each element of the each string within this list would have associated target. And there is also a description. We can specify the description while loading the file. Here I have not put any description, so that's why it's none. So that was it for this video. I hope in this video you got some new information about how to load datasets into Python using the scikit-learn methods. This would be in addition to the previous 3 videos where we have looked at some specific ways in which you can import data. So that was it for this video then. I hope to see you all in the next video. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.